get to Yen's video. Our beloved Yen. Let's look at the video from her. There's one correction. I will read that before I start the video. Rex Silvermoon had since messaged me saying they had looked at Teddy's statement and said they will no longer associate with Ruby/Toasty and condone what they have done. The drawing shown was actually of Toasty and Hopeless Peaches, not Teddy. I read it as such given it seemed to show them as two guys, given it wasn't out that Peaches was trans at the time, to my knowledge. However, it was still inappropriate for Toasty to show said image. So we got that one. So let's start Yen's video. Toasty Vanilla returned. And their friends don't want you to know.
Trigger warning for the following topics: child endangerment, sexual harassment, and grooming. Hello, my name is Yen, and today I would like to talk about a much more serious topic than my last video.
I love the avatar for Yen.
Something that many people in the art commentary community and slideshow commentary community will know all too well due to its extensive coverage by creators such as Akumu and Lakumolaka, and discussed extensively over the last 4 years.
Finally someone recommending Akumu from this site.
Existence of the FCK server, also known as the Fruitcake Club server, and the degeneracy
and avatar's fire, literally.
Pedophilic behavior and child endangerment that happened within this server. But like I said,
yo, fire is Cinder's thing. Yen stole fire from Cinder. I can't believe that. Shame upon Yen. Shame Yen.
This situation has been discussed extensively, so what more else can I add to this discussion? Well, I bring the focus of this video onto one user in particular from the FCK server, Toasty Vanilla. Now, I'm well aware that Toasty wasn't the only bad actor within the FCK server, but for the purpose and the focus of this video, I will only like to talk
about so cute!
What Toasty did. Resources on the entire FCK situation will be linked in the description down below. This video will be broken down into a few different—
Apologies for any issues with audio and quality, as this is my first time using a computer for a video. I will think about forgiving it.
Parts. First starting with who Toasty was as a content creator, then moving on to their actions within the FCK server, and then the new information that I have discovered. As I'm aware, a lot of the people who are going to be seeing this video already know most of the information regards to the FCK server. However, there are some who have not.
God. Another server in 2020,
now we have a
oh
base
god.
Understanding about the FCK, the situation surrounding Toasty in 2020, and their actions within it and the kind of person they are, I can move on to talk about the stuff that I've recently learnt. Firstly, starting with a server that Toasty was in 2020. And to do this, I would like to introduce you to a channel called Timeworks. At the time of recording, Timeworks' channel is currently sitting at 697,000 subscribers, and it's existed as early as 2016. Now, looking through their content is quite generic, mainly consisting of challenge videos and some reaction content, but if you flip over to the channel's post section, you will find this. Now, this on the—
Hey, so I would love you to subscribe to one of my favorite YouTube channels. I've been watching his channel for a while. I really enjoy his content, so check it out. And Toasty Vanilla is like, I'm fucking blushing.
Service may not be worth much thought. Aside from this and a few mentions of Toasty on Twitter, there isn't much in terms of public interaction, but that is until we look closer into their Discord server, currently sitting at 12,000 members and peaked during 2020 due to the COVID-19 outbreak, where a lot of work and mainly schools were cancelled, bringing an increase in membership to the server and the Discord. This server does not allow NSFW topics or discussion due to it not being age-gated and having members as young as 14 within the server, as seen in the server rules.
No sending links, images, or videos of graphic or insensitive content, including adult inappropriate discussions in all chat.
Looking into the members, one in particular stands out, and that is Toasty Vanilla herself, with the role of former mod. And after scrolling through the messages, they were mod around the time of the FCK server, and the situation within it that took place. Now Yen, this is a very large server, and the content around it isn't related to ACC, so Toasty must have stopped their behavior when the server, right? No, of course they didn't. For a point of reference, Toasty was a moderator in the Timeworks server since the 14th of December 2018, and in the time of them being a moderator up until their sudden drop in activity during 2022, which coincides with their removing themselves of their
pay your fine or go to jail.
Their internet presence, Toasty engaged in inappropriate messages in the server. The first instance was them talking about their futanari fetish in the main chat.
Oh, yeah, that's usually what people will call inappropriate, you know, in a thing for... Toasty just drank before you come here. I already did. Oh, it's Futa. I won't surrender to pain. I wish Futa was real. Oh. They can't even behave in other servers.
And even mentioning slummers by name. And talking sexually about said...
There's children here. Oh yeah, that's right. Bruh. It's me, but gender bent. Oh, well. The artist is named Slummers, made for me for the while ago.
Fetish in front of minors within the server, whilst also confirming that they had finished. To the point in which another moderator had to remind them that there were minors present.
That's right. I wish Futa was real. Are we still playing? And what the fuck is your profile picture? And cat girls. Lamau, Toasty, safe for work. Yeah, that's children here. Oh yeah, that's right. Or imagine having who constantly has to be reminded that there are minors there, that it's safe for work server.
Which Toasty seemed to agree on, only to continue talking about Futa. Now the moderator may have stepped in, however, I do not understand how this wasn't nipped at the bud here and there, and Toasty removed from the server. And given their clear uncaring to what they were saying, this does show that Toasty's inability to speak in the correct manner when minors are present extends to a much more public setting and not just the private FCK server. There is another instance of Toasty inciting a sexual-based topic within the server, by asking if people were of the age of consent to know.
Why the fuck? Alright, I just wanna know, who in this chat is of consenting age? Hi, not me. Hey. I'm pretty sure I'm older than you two. I wish food was real. It's called not fetishizing IRL trans women, I think. Yeah. Yeah, do be like that. But also, no, I will not get into the Futa discussion. No. Moving on.
Know who she could flirt with openly, which in of itself is still the...
What do you mean consenting age? Oh, I love me a fat age gap. 18 plus, I guess. Oh. Yeah, I mean 18 or older. I myself am 18. Bruh. I am 35. JK, I am...
Disturbing, given the server contains minors, quite actively, even those who interacted with the question. One even said how...
Listen, if you're 17, you're safe by my standards. Fuck you. Bad joke. Ugh. Not to the cops, ain't. Well, I'm 14, but I don't really care. Do it anyways. No.
They were 14, but they didn't care, and this answer from the minor wasn't explained to be a dangerous thing to happen, and no consequences of these behaviors were punished. If that wasn't enough, there are other cases of Toasty acting inappropriately in this server when talking in public chats, such as constant use of this image depicting Nazi imagery.
Yay!
And this meme showing what seems...
Who is currently not here because he died and I don't have one. What, you thought it would be some cute anecdote? It's just I, Suleiman the Magnificent. My favorite types of memes, Lamau. Yes, indeed, my ass has also fallen off due to laughter.
Seems to be young characters from an anime. Unfortunately, I cannot confirm the ages of said characters, but the depiction itself seems to be quite young. After seeing all this, I decided to contact the server owner, and in turn the channel owner Nick, to ask a few simple questions regarding Toasty and our activity in the server. But I was ignored, despite my emphasis on it being a serious...
Oh, good evening. I'm messaging you in regards to an important subject in the form of one of your ex-moderators. And I have some questions I need to ask you. It is an important subject. 1 day later? Oh, 6 hours later. Hello, what do you need to know? First question. When was the no not safe for work rule added to your server? A day later? Question mark. I understand you may be busy, but this is important. 2 days later? Hello? Literally ghosted.
Topic. So, I approached another moderator who had been on staff at a similar time as Toasty, who wished...
Hi drama, yeah, we're going strong today, we're going strong.
...to remain anomalous about these things. Good evening, I am messaging... You in regards to
Oh,
an
I
important
already read.
subject in the form of one of the ex-moderators, and I have a few questions I need to ask you. It's an important subject. The first question I need answered was when was Rule 3 NSFW rule introduced into the server?
Hello, it has been best to my knowledge that Rule 3 has been around for at least about 5 years. It is very likely that the rule has been around for longer because 5 years ago was the start of COVID lockdowns.
A confirmation on that would be very much appreciated, as I can see the message was edited, so it's hard to tell if it was specifically always a role.
I don't know specifically when it came out, but it's safe to say it's been around probably for as long as the server's been open.
My next question would be, when was Toasty removed as mod / stepped down as moderator, and what was the reason given to this?
He was removed as a staff for inactivity. Nick did this with a few of the staff members, so he wasn't plucked out specifically.
Ah, so not okay, was not removed for the not safe for work stuff, but for being inactive. Gotcha.
With inactivity potentially relating to security concerns and so forth. They were removed as staff of April of last year.
I then proceeded to tell the moderator why I was even asking these questions, and the messages that I had shown previously in this video.
I can see why you bring this up. I don't have any reasons for them not being reprimanded in some capacity for some of their inappropriate comments like the ones you've described.
Unfortunately, I would have given some level of leeway if they weren't a moderator. However, given they are, and they should definitely know the rules, and besides that, even if they weren't a mod, they must be aware that there are some minors in the server, given that it is not age gated.
Oh yeah, they were
We're always hanging drama. That's why I never drink. Listen, you just need to be able to handle your drink.
definitely were aware that they were minors, as spring and summer 2020 is when the server peaked in activity. Just for the record, I don't condone the messages he sent.
There is actually one point I would like to correct, as I don't know how I missed it and I do apologize for doing so. An admin did tell them to cut it out. However, considering this behavior happened more than once, like asking if people were of age or consent, I'd say that's enough to have removed them as a mod.
I do agree that the owner ought to have done something and obviously didn't at that time. Staff are permitted to ask people of their ages if and only that they are suspicious of any.
Yeah, asking for age and being like, oh, so who of you here is of consenting age is quite a different thing.
Eligibility to be on the Discord in the first place. See Discord TOS section 2. This does not apply to the latter, so ought not to have been asked.
Also, given that Toasty during 2020 was 18 turning 19, an adult in a server with minors as young as, according to the rules, 14, it's unacceptable.
The rules do allow minors as young as 13, the age in which you're allowed to join Discord in the US, but that doesn't change anything with what we've discussed.
The last question I asked the moderator was if Nick knew about the events around Toasty in 2020.
Not until right before Toasty was banned. He was banned a couple days ago.
I have to condone this.
Oh, a couple of days ago, okay.
Is being silently done. Given Toasty is a known groomer and there are minors in the server, surely an announcement to bring awareness and to see if there are victims would be something that needs to be done.
We don't want
to bring widespread attention to the issue that one of our moderators was a groomer? Excuse me? Excuse-moi?
bring a widespread attention to the issue.
The staff don't want it known that a previous moderator was a child groomer.
Be that as it may, I won't be commenting any further.
To say the least, I wasn't impressed given how they wanted to.
Yeah, that's really not impressive. That's really nicely said. That's really not impressive to be like, oh, you know, we don't want to bring any attention to the issue. That would be unfortunate.
Under the rug and not address it publicly. Given the track record of Toasty, there could have been potential other victims from this server. And 2 days after my conversation with the moderator, Toasty's account was banned from the server, which is still
oh, whoopsie doopsie.
Too little, too late. Now, given the size of Timeworks' channel, he benefits a lot from just not interacting with anything to do with this, because he can seemingly sweep it under the rug. But hopefully, this part of the video has given people some further understanding of the kind of person that Toasty Vanilla was, and the people that enabled their behavior and allowed them to continue acting in these spaces in the way.
I will never understand when they're like, oh, you know, we want to handle this quiet. There are some things you can handle quietly. One of your mod, there's being serious allegation that they're a child groomer with, there's enough evidence out there by now. That's like, you should probably bring that to attention.
That they have been. However,
I'm back with my noodles and some juice, hell yeah.
Speaking of sweeping,
RubyLighterFluid, of course, it's VTubers. No!
Thanks to Teddy's own video they made about their experience with Toasty Vanilla and Lako Malaka's live streams on the FCK, I was curious about one part, and that was Toasty's apparent previous attempt to rebrand as a VTuber under the name Ruby Missile Launcher.
Okay.
So, as the nosy hyena I am, I went to Twitter, searching the name, and didn't get a lot. But then I remembered the name in Ruby's old Twitter banner, Corbett. That led me to a collab stream with Corbett and a user with the same VTuber model and similar name to the old one, called RubyLighterFluid. If you wanted to run away, you did an amazing job doing so. Then I found their Twitch, compared the voices for my own sanity, and yes, this was Toasty Vanilla, streaming in 2025 without a care in the world and hiding.
Oh, this 2085, they're still on it? What the fuck?
Out in the VTubing community, doing collabs and streams with others, mainly doing Hearts of Iron streams and the likes. I came to the conclusion that Toasty, now Ruby, had either hid their past or lied to these people to get away from responsibility of what they did. So I started collecting names and looking.
It's still funny how they said, you know, this won't follow me. This won't follow me. Bigger people have tried.
Into their Discord servers. And thankfully, nothing came up, given the fact that Ruby seemed to only join said server to collab on live streams, and they seem to have not had a community Discord server of their own. And so
they learned at least something.
So I approached them all at the same time, sending the same message of
Hell
good
yeah,
morning,
Yen.
afternoon, evening. I am messaging you in regards to a bad actor in the community. Are you aware of a person called Toasty Vanilla? To be honest, I should have been less surprised by the response, given past situations. But again, here we are, and I would like to go through with them, one by one. Firstly, I'll go through the ones who blocked.
Toast is now a VTuber, the jokes write themselves. They do always. I don't even need to try hard to come up with some in these cases.
Me on reception of the message immediately, those being both Kate Fishin, a Twitch streamer with 543 followers, who I sent a message at the same time as the others, and Xeria Morningstar, someone who had since deleted their Twitch, but their Clips channel remains up, whose Discord I joined, but was quickly banned from after attempting to message them. Now for Xeria's case, I can assume that they had been forewarned about me looking into Ruby, as it was about a week after I sent my original messages.
But are they all not covering for Toasty? That's... Please, don't tell me these people are this stupid.
But for Kate Fishin, I only mentioned Toasty Vanilla, which means they must have had an understanding of why I would be mentioning it to them. Again, meanwhile for Xeria, the only currently still public instance of their collaboration with Ruby is a tweet from 2023, showing the evidence of Toasty's past rebrand attempt even then, which leads me on to the next person, Corbett. Corbett is the person who I found Toasty's newest identity through, a YouTube streamer / creator with 61.7k subscribers, who did respond to my message and had apparently been previously contacted regarding Ruby as seen.
An associate of yours, I assume, has very recently messaged me regarding this matter. Please do not contact me again and consider informing any other person who may also wish to contact me about this.
What the fuck? Bruh.
Now, given the fact Ruby's Discord account was still in Corbett's server, and the fact that he knew about Ruby even when they were using the name Ruby Missile Launcher, I again only used the name Toasty in my messages. I find it hard to believe that they had.
They're going to do exactly that, do classic VTuber behaviors to defend lawless pedos and so on. God damn it. I hate people.
Seen the information pertaining to them and the actions they did in 2020. Again, I want to have some level of good faith with these people. However, it's very hard to, given how public Toasty's actions are, and if these people hadn't looked into it themselves, it's a minimum gross negligence. Rex Silvermoon. Rex Silvermoon is a Twitch streamer with 120.
That's interesting. Most of them seem rather small, aside from... Aside from the Quabbit guy. Because the other ones had like 535 and this one now 100. And then you have this Corbett guy who has like 60,000.
And had apparently been previously contacted regarding Ruby as seen.
An associate of yours, I assume, has a person who...
Yeah, okay.
Too. Given how public Toasty's actions are, and if these people hadn't looked into it themselves, it's a minimum gross negligence. Rex Silvermoon. Rex Silvermoon is a Twitch streamer with 126 followers who seemed confused at the Toasty name, but when I mentioned their new name...
So you're contacting me about your old beef. A, I'm not in the HOI community, and B, keep your crusade to yourself, please.
What the fuck? Oh, you have some old beef. Oh, leave me alone with that. I don't like drama. What is the HOI community?
They then swiftly blocked me. But don't worry, this isn't the last we will hear of them in this video. Team Anilia. Team Anilia is a YouTube streamer slash content creator with 2.31k subscribers. Their content based mainly around video games. And this was their response to my message.
Hey there. No, I am not. What's going on?
As you can see, they feign ignorance into knowing who I'm referring to. But once I show the links to Teddy's statement and Akuma's FCK video, and name Toasty by their current name, they have this reaction.
Alright, I know what this is. I have reason to doubt your statement about only looking into this year. Numerous people, creators included, have come to Ruby's defense with very compelling evidence and arguments.
Oh, very compelling evidence. Yeah, you know, I don't have it at hand, but we have seen very compelling evidence. Alias, they said people are just mean to me.
I happen to know Ruby very well, both online and in person. I also know about you, your group, and its nonsense. I am a victim of sexual
What the fuck?
assault and grooming as a teen. Ruby has helped me in the process quite a lot and has been there for me in extremely dark times. They are a supportive, kind, honest,
They were nice to me. There's no way that they done bullshit. There's no way that any of this could be true, bruh. Just look at the fucking evidence. It ain't that hard. You don't have to like the people. You don't have to become besties. Just look what they have. And then you can still have your opinion.
sincere person. They also readily admitted their past flaws and mistakes to me, none of which were
Did they, just like in the interview, where they were like, oh, I was 18, I was a little stupid, I did a tee-hee, I did an oopsie-whoopsie.
as extreme as the crap being lobbed at them. I take shit like this very fucking seriously. You lot have been following them for years.
You don't seem to take this very seriously right now.
With your absolute bullshit. Stay the fuck out of my DMs, away from my fucking community, and kindly go fuck yourself.
Now, I can understand it being very difficult to come to terms with someone who has been supportive and caring for you, and has helped you through dark times actually being a bad person.
They manipulated them, most definitely. But I'll be honest, those are, I hope, all adults. Like, I can understand having a bias towards a friend, but if someone comes to me, hey, your friend has some serious allegations against him, here's videos with the evidence. I can understand at first to be like, I have my doubts, the fuck we want. But at least look at it afterwards.
And I in no way will sit here and discredit them helping Ancilia through their trauma. However, the sheer blindness and downplaying of what Ruby did is disheartening. This point will apply for the next person I mention, but calling what Ruby is being accused of
Husky put a good meme in your channel.
as bullshit, and the fact that they explained their quote-unquote flaws to you will never undo the damage they did to children. Oh, and the years of following them was simply due to their group covering for them and pointing the arrow at a 16-year-old who had actual proof about their awful actions. After blocking me, they banned me from their Discord server, in which they then made an announcement stating,
Banned Yen the Yan, harassing Ruby and falsely accusing her of grooming. Listen here,
Don't say that it's falsely accusing if you haven't looked at the fucking evidence.
I'm a victim myself.
Oh my god, it's one of these people who are always like, I was groomed myself. I am the fucking Lorax of all grooming victims. Fuck off.
Stuff like this very, 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 very fucking seriously. Bullshit like this is why actual victims are never fucking believed or heard. Even though bad actors like this are such a small minority of claims and accusations, they do irreparable damage and harm. Take a good fucking read.
So, before in DMs, you admit Ruby did wrong, even if downplaying. But in your announcement, it's utter falsities, and the victims of
that doesn't really match up.
FCK aren't real victims. Real fucking nice. The final
Now she is the only real victim.
note for Team Ancilia is this tweet they made shortly after.
Dear drama channels trying to drag me into a thing that I frankly don't care for and want little to do with, instead of, you know, spying on me and stalking my community.
Quite funny to be like, I am a grooming victim myself, and being like, I don't care for your grooming drama. Okay, I don't care for the other grooming victims. Because I am a grooming victim.
Why not just come out and talk to me in an honest fashion instead of trying to lie to
What? Someone tried.
me and deceive me?
I struggle to understand what I said to you as dishonest, Ancilia. And if you call joining a public Discord server stalking, that's idiotic and backwards. And last I checked, videos were documented.
Oh god, they are just like the ACC, the geniuses. Listen, listen. Having screenshots of my public Twitter is stalking. Commenting on my public Twitter tweets is stalking. Joining my public Discord server, stalking.
Screenshots and years-long evidence is far from deception. Lady Saffron is a YouTube streamer at 12.3k subscribers, and is another person in Ruby's close friend group, along with Ancilia, as seen in this tweet and evident in their stream that Ruby edited for Saffron in 2023, still under the missile launcher name, and the response was just as colourful.
I know exactly who you are. Leave my server and every one of my friends right fucking now. You will not harass an innocent woman, understand?
An innocent woman? Fuck you and the horse you came in on, what the hell? Innocent woman? Where?
How do you get off going and contacting streamers just to harass someone?
I am not harassing anybody, I am simply making sure you are aware of who the individual is, and I'm sure you know that person now goes by RubyLighterFluid.
I know damn well who she is, and I know she's one of the only good people on—
one of the only good people on the internet. Oh yeah, sure. One of the best company you keep there.
on the internet. And I know who you are as well. And I know your ilk have been tracking her for years, trying to harass her. So don't play that shit with me. It's not flying.
I have only looked into this year. I think you are confusing me with somebody else. I genuinely don't know who you could be confusing me with, but if you would like, I can link one of the many videos explaining this person's actions.
I've seen the videos, and I know you're all a bunch of—
Have you seen the videos and you decided, yeah, no, fuck you. Fuck the victims. Nah. Bruh.
idiots if you think you can just come out here and harass innocent people. I've already contacted all other streamers you're bothering and told them to ban you from their servers.
So, you're fully aware of what Toasty did? Fully?
Fuck off.
I genuinely don't want you to be misinformed. I've seen it time and time again, where someone will feed a story to those they call
Jan is so nice still to them.
friends to make themselves look good. I would admit
Like, Jan is still really nice to these people who just tell her to fuck off. Bruh.
minimum please like you to at least listen to a video done by a victim. As you can see, the wording used is similar to Ancilia, and also mention years of harassment, and clearly aware of their Toasty Vanilla identity.
I would really love to know what story Toasty fed to these people.
Again, what I said about Ancilia applies here as well. Half of me wants to think that these people have never properly looked at the evidence against Ruby.
Considering the community that Toasty ran off, they probably do lab as medieval. Leave this innocent woman alone, my lady.
And Ruby herself has fed them a pretty up version about what happened. But
I'm telling you, ACC and VTubers go hand in hand. Now I changed to the VTube avatar, so Yen won't tell me I'm SCC anymore, and now it's just as bad. Wait, I need another format.
again, with Ancilia claiming to have seen the videos made, I find this hard to believe. And it's all well and good of Ruby admitting a small level of fault behind closed doors, but
I mean, I am mean to Yen sometimes, but it's to show my love.
given the only official statement ever made of FCK was this from Toasty's server years ago. This means absolutely nothing and no—
Not death weapon. Okay, it's kind of embarrassing, but it's the video on Gmail. And I just throw it here, cause you're the only motherfuckers I know who will give me the time of day. Yes, when I was 18, I was flirty around and doing weird shit in the Fruitcake Club. And there were motherfuckers age ranges from 15 to 29. Toby Majestic was 29. And if you wanna decide I'm trash for that, go ahead and feel free to. Like, I didn't know any better. I was dumb high schooler. And if you wanna decide that's bullshit excuse, feel free to. I will. Me and Teddy did try to have a romantic relationship and just decided not to, back when I was a senior and she was a sophomore. But besides that, our relationship mostly ended up being drama-heavy and semi-casual. If you all wanna give me shit for dumbass things I've said and ignoring people's advice for warning me in August 2020, that's also pretty valid, but I have a life now, and they can't take that from me. I wish to say things I cannot say on stream. I cannot say the things I want to say right now. I want a leash here.
No willingness to admit fault of their actions, and the fact Toasties never once planned to stop engaging in online content creation
Freshly 18 my ass.
from their attempts at rebranding and hiding from responsibility, and the fact that after all these messages I sent to their colleagues, they seemingly left all their servers, and from what I can see, their Discord account along with their Twitch. It's clear to me that they plan to keep running away. Or so I thought. As I was editing this video, I received a friend request from Rex Silvermoon, and curious and hoping they had actually looked into what kind of a person Ruby was, I accepted, where they told me that Ruby had asked them to mediate a call between us, which confused me, given the fact that throughout this entire process, I had never once attempted to contact Ruby. But I agreed, but asked if I could bring someone else with me, given the fact that Rex was very much biased, as they had chalked up what Ruby did as the mistakes of a barely 18-year-old.
Oh, barely 18, freshly 18. They didn't know any better.
Despite the fact that Ruby was 18 turning 19 in the events of FCK, and even then, is piss poor logic. I had asked the big bad lion man, Lio Convoy, to be present, and as soon as that was passed to Ruby, they seemingly got cold feet.
They ran from Lio. Oh, cowards. Cowards.
Ended up happening, and Rex reblocked me. The way I'm interpreting this is that Ruby thought that they could spin up some pretty story about what happened, something I can only assume that they did with their friends, or they simply assumed I was a clout goblin who didn't know much about the FCK, given my small presence in the space, and the presence of Lio would have definitely proved.
Brad, underestimating the small people is the biggest mistake. Bruh. They picked the wrong shoulda.
Prove that wrong. Simply put, being a bitch. But if you're watching this video, Ruby, I still love to have a chat. I'll even ask for Let to boil up a cup of tea. My final thoughts. The events of FCK may have happened years ago, but the actions of those involved are still felt to this day. And the long-term effects of trauma of the victims of Ruby and the others in FCK shouldn't be dismissed.
To be honest, that one still of Lio referencing that guess I'll die, just die meme is peak. It is truly peak.
I understand that people may learn and grow, but that requires action. That requires taking accountability for what you did.
Why should I learn and grow when I can just run from the consequences of my actions?
And not simply slipping into another space, especially in the case of circles I mentioned previously that have minimal age gating in their servers and communities. For Timeworks, take issues raised to you seriously. Ruby should have never stayed in that server as long as they did, and given a simple word search in your server, your mods really need to be a bit more strict, given the fact of how young your community is. For the VTubers in this video,
oh Jesus,
a friend who has done horrible things is difficult, but the correct thing to do. Allowing this person to fester in your spaces only opens up for the possibility of them to...
Yeah, and don't just deny everything outright. Just at least look into it before you believe anything. Because imagine, people you're friends with can also lie to you about their past.
continue as they once were. I mean, do you really want to keep up the stereotype of horrible people hiding out in the VTubing sphere to continue? And finally, to all the people who have sat through this very long video, thank you.
It's 42 minutes, it's not very long. Yen, you're being cringe.
This video took a while to make, with many bumps in the roads,
But do they harass them? They were mean. They said mean words.
such as my new microphone simply not working, meaning
I believe in you, Yen. You can get that microphone to work.
I had to record all of this on my phone. A special thanks to those on screen for lending their voices for this video, and the creator of this video's thumbnail, Hidden Heroine, who is currently working on a Mount Olympus video, so go subscribe to them to see when it comes out. This has been Yen. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to bed.
You deserve that bed. Let me just... Please. Bip. Check out Yen's video, like and subscribe to Yen, leave a comment, be nice to her. She needs some niceness in her life. Yen needs to just spend $50 for Blue Yeti. Jesus. A moment of silence for the 5 hours we sit on Toasty Vanilla. Time we will never get back, but you know what? The true treasure is the friends we made along the way.